Admiral Zektor stood on the bridge of the Sovereign's Wrath, his four eyes scanning the tactical display with satisfaction. 500 warships of the hegemony stretched across space in perfect formation, the largest armada ever assembled in galactic history. Each vessel bristled with weapons that could crack continents, their hulls forged from materials that had withstood the fury of dying stars. "Target acquired, Admiral," reported his tactical officer, mandibles clicking with anticipation. The third planet from their star. Intelligence confirms it's their homeworld. Earth, they call it. Zektor's scaled lips curled into what his species considered a smile. For 3 centuries, the hegemony had swept across the galaxy, bringing order to countless civilizations. Some submitted willingly, others required persuasion. The humans, however, had done something unprecedented. They had ignored the hegemony's ultimatum entirely. "Preliminary scans show primitive technology," continued the officer. "Nuclear weapons, chemical propulsion, basic orbital infrastructure. They've barely left their gravity well." "Arrogant primitives," Zektor hissed. "They dare to ignore the might of the hegemony. We shall make an example of them that will echo through the galaxy for millennia." But as the fleet approached the blue-green world, something felt wrong. The humans weren't fleeing. No desperate surrender broadcasts filled the communication channels. No mass evacuations darkened space with refugee ships. Instead, Earth seemed almost welcoming. "Admiral," the sensor operator's voice carried a note of confusion, "I'm detecting unusual energy signatures throughout their solar system. Not from their planet, but from everywhere else." Before Zektor could respond, space itself began to shimmer. What had appeared to be empty void suddenly blazed with light as massive structures materialized, not around Earth, but surrounding the entire hegemony fleet. Orbital platforms the size of moons, bristling with weapons that defied classification. Ships that seemed to bend space around themselves, their hulls reflecting technologies that shouldn't exist. And then came the voice. Calm, measured, speaking perfect hegemonic standard through every communication channel simultaneously. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Seoul Defense Force. You have entered human territory with hostile intent. You have exactly 60 seconds to reverse course and leave this system." Zektor's blood ran cold. The tactical display showed energy readings that eclipsed his entire fleet. The humans hadn't been primitive, they had been hiding. "Impossible," he breathed. "Our intelligence was exactly what we wanted you to see." Admiral Chen's voice interrupted as if she could hear his thoughts. "Did you really believe a species capable of interstellar travel would advertise its true capabilities to potential aggressors?" The truth hit Zektor like a physical blow. The humans had been watching, learning, preparing. Their primitive technology was a facade, a deliberate misdirection while they built something far more terrifying, a defense network that had remained completely invisible until activated. 30 seconds, came the human voice. "Admiral, what are your orders?" His tactical officer whispered. All earlier confidence drained away. Zektor stared at the display. His pride warred with survival instinct. The hegemony had never retreated, never shown weakness, but the energy reading suggested that human weapons could turn his entire fleet into cosmic dust before his ships could even target their attackers. We cannot," he began. "Time's up," Admiral Chen announced. What followed wasn't a battle, it was a demonstration. The human weapons didn't destroy the hegemony ships so much as dismantle them with surgical precision. Engines were severed from hulls. Weapon systems were vaporized while life support remained intact. Within minutes, 500 warships found themselves helplessly adrift, their crews alive but their vessels completely neutralized. But the humans weren't finished. "You came here to conquer." Admiral Chen's voice continued as repair drones, thousands of them, swarmed the disabled fleet. "Instead, you're going to become messengers." The drones worked with frightening efficiency, installing something into each ship's communication array and navigation system. When they withdrew, Zektor found his vessel's controls responding, but only along a single trajectory, back toward hegemony space. "Every ship in your fleet now carries a message beacon," Admiral Chen explained. "It will activate when you reach your home territories. The message is simple: Earth is protected. Any future aggression against human colonies, human allies, or human interests will result in consequences that make today look like a gentle warning." As the fleet limped away from Earth, Zektor realized the true genius of the human strategy. They hadn't just defeated the hegemony, they had turned their own invasion force into unwitting ambassadors of human power. "Sir," his communications officer reported quietly, "the beacon they installed, it's already broadcasting to our fleet. It's showing tactical recordings of what just happened. Every ship in the galaxy will know about this within days." Zektor closed his eyes. The hegemony's reputation for invincibility was over, but perhaps, he thought grimly, that wasn't entirely a bad thing. He had seen species adapt and survive, but the humans had done something else entirely. They had turned the galaxy's expectations against itself. As Earth dwindled behind them, Zektor couldn't help but wonder. If this was how humans defended themselves, what were they capable of when they went on the offensive? He hoped for everyone's sake that they would never have to find out. The fleet of 500 had come intact to conquer Earth. Not one returned the same way. They carried with them something far more dangerous than physical damage. They carried the truth about humanity's true nature. The galaxy would never be the same.